He once pooped on the ceiling. Hello everyone, it is me, LightFeather. Today I will be telling you something about the rabbit I have. I hear you thinking, how could this possibly be an interesting story? Well, you know that nothing I have and do is ordinary, so I can assure you that it is going to be quite the story. Okay, so about 5 years ago, I bought my rabbit, whose name is Muffin, by the way, and we all thought it was going to be, you have a rabbit, that's done. But no. First off, my mom said you should get a female rabbit because they are less aggressive than male rabbits. So we were like, this one, is that a female rabbit? And she was like, let me just check. Yes, this is definitely a female rabbit. Oh, okay, and will she not grow too much because we like to have a smaller rabbit because we don't have that much space, so we can have a smaller cage. Oh yeah, this one will probably not even grow a bit. Boy, was she wrong. First off, he is a male. Second off, he grew like twice his size, so he's a normal sized rabbit now. But yeah, that's not really a problem, right? Well, first off, he doesn't want to be touched at all. So you can't just get him and pet him because he hates that and he starts scratching and biting. Normal rabbit stuff. But when the really interesting stuff happened, he stood outside on our balcony in a cage. But every time he was like really quiet and we were like, what's going on with him? So we looked and we found out he's a Rex rabbit, meaning that he has only one layer of fur instead of two, meaning that it's only soft, but it isn't isolating and it doesn't keep him warm. So we have to keep him in a cage indoors. Okay. Then at some point we found blood in his cage and we didn't know why. So we checked and his soles were all basically wounded. And we didn't know why. So we took him to the vet and he was like, yeah, this is a phenomenon that sometimes happens with rabbits and it's called sore hocks, which means that basically, well, his soles are injured. So we got like this ointment. But like I said, he scratches and bites when you get him. So applying the ointments was terrible. Every day we had to struggle to fight him and like wrap him up in a towel and we're like, no, hold him. Okay, ow, okay. So that was difficult. Then we had the idea, yeah, he's walking on like his cage, so that must be, hurtful on his sore soles. So we cut up an old sock and made tiny rabbit socks for Muffin. And we stuck them to him with medical tape. So you think, yeah, he can't possibly take that off. Do you know what he did? He went onto his water bowl and he put his feet in there until the tape soaked and he could take it off. Then when he couldn't do that with his back paws, let's say that, he put water in his mouth and spit it all over his remaining socks so he could take them off. Okay, so yeah, that is weird. Then later on it started to happen. Normally, rabbits have these tiny little poops that lay around and you clean those because that's what rabbit poop looks like normally. But then he got diarrhea and we were like, diarrhea? Can a rabbit even have that? Oh boy, yes they can. That smells and it is disgusting. And he had that for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. So back to the vet. And well, basically we got some medicines, but nothing really worked. And now occasionally when he's stressed out, he has diarrhea. But he gets stressed out by literally everything. If you let him out of his cage every morning at 7, and one day you let him out of his cage at 7:15, then he has diarrhea for the next 5 days. So at some point we decided we are going to give him rabbit superfood, which is basically this kind of compressed special wheat, and it's super good for rabbits, and everyone on the rabbit forums were like, yeah, rabbits love these, it's like a treat to them, this is amazing. So we bought this super expensive bag of food and gave him, and he was like, oh, food! No. He didn't want to eat it, so we were like, okay. And everybody was saying, yeah, they'll start to eat when they get hungry, because they're never going to starve themselves, of course, because that would be crazy. He pretty much starved himself. He refused to eat for days. And we were like, just eat your ridiculously expensive food, but he did not. And then he started to poop like this jelly because he was like dying. So we switched back to his old food, but like his entire digestive system was shut down and we had to force feed him and we almost died and we was like, oh my god. But this is not even the craziest thing. As I said, he pretty much always has diarrhea. He has it a lot of times. And you think like he poops on the ground and you need to clean it up. Yeah, but another thing is, he once pooped on the ceiling. Yeah, he pooped on his rear paws and basically like flipped it up by kicking up, and the poop basically, well, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but it like splattered up to the ceiling. I was sitting there on the couch and I was like, huh, that almost looks like Muffin's poop. And my mom was like, oh my god, that is Muffin's poop! So we had to clean the ceiling. And then later on he did that to the wall. So now we have like a blanket covering that wall saying like, yeah, this is to isolate his cage, but actually there are diarrhea stains behind it and we can't get rid of them because they're like in the paint and it's But he didn't even poop on the ceiling once. It happened like 3 times. Another thing is that he hates all toys. Because rabbits like to play as well, and we gave him some toys. But every toy with one of those bells is scary to him, and it causes him to have diarrhea. And all other toys he basically just doesn't care about. The only thing he actually wants to chew on is the furniture. Which we, of course, didn't let him do. But did you know that a rabbit's teeth keep growing and growing at all time? Because when it breaks off, he needs to get a new one. But in nature, it just keeps it short because he chews on stuff, and it basically just, you know, it files it off. But Muffin refuses to chew on anything except for the furniture. So what happened? His teeth kept growing and growing until finally he couldn't even shut his mouth anymore. It looked like this. Which is of course super sad because he had to eat like So of course we had to take him back to the vet for like the 10th time. So once we were there, they decided it is a clever idea if you have his teeth removed. Because if his food is little enough, like you have those bits, he can just get them with his lips and chew on it. Because this way he'll always have pain for the rest of his life. So we got rid of his teeth. But before he had lost his teeth, he had learned some sort of, let's say, trick. Because his cage is in the living room, he can see and hear us at all time. And we can see and hear him at all time. So at some point he found out that if he takes one of the bars of the cage between his teeth and does this, it makes a rattling noise, like So every time he wants to be out of his cage and just roam the living room, which we sometimes let him do, he would do that, but he wouldn't stop until he actually got out. So this means that he would actually do that non-stop for about an hour. And my mom would be so annoyed by that until she finally let him out, and then he was like, okay, now I'm gonna lie. And he would just lay down on the carpet and do nothing again. So basically he's like the straightest rabbit you could possibly have, and he always has these annoying things that he is always sick and always the diarrhea. Last summer, he had diarrhea all summer long because when he's shedding his fur, he always has diarrhea, and it took the entire summer. So basically, you have to imagine that our house smells like diarrhea for about 3 months. Yeah, we didn't have any guests over. So yeah, that's basically my weird rabbit/pet story. Have you ever had any crazy stories about you and your pets? Please let me know in the comments so I can read that. And if you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. I post stories to get to know each other a little bit better like this on Saturday, and on Wednesday I post comedy sketches or cinematics. All of this to let people know that it's okay and awesome to be yourself and that you shouldn't change yourself for others. But above all, thank you so much for watching this video. Just be unique, you're awesome the way you are.